So next slide. Lots of gentlemen have a lot of struggle with knowing that if you get into a girl's phone, they live differently than we do. Their entire experience of the world is completely different. You really, I mean, girls are not just dudes without dicks, and a lot of guys, by default, it's not something they've really thought about a whole lot. They think about like video games and school and how much their first job pays them. Those are the things that interest him. But how a girl sees the world isn't something of any interest to him. But one thing that holds men back, and I think almost they became angry, is that her choice of options, and girls do get overwhelmed to a certain extent by choice, but it's less so because they've lived with it their whole lives. If you're rich your whole life, you don't know any different. You don't really have anything to compare it to. And women are pretty good at discerning from large numbers of men, because there's so many men, they automatically filter out. If they see 1,000 men in a day, they might actually only see or recognize one or two alphas out of that entire mix of 1,000 men that have passed by her site. So, for example, and I can show you exactly how it goes by the numbers and how she ends up in front of you on a date, and you better fuck her because you beat out 6,000 other guys. So she gets 6,000 likes on Bumble. You can kick out, and this is in the US at least, you can kick out 90% because 90% of people are overweight or obese. They're going to be out of shape. Less than 1% of the US population exercises, and you have a 90% obesity or overweight risk. So you can throw out 90%, or they look like your average frustrated chimp. They don't take care of themselves. You got a bad haircut, bad genetics. 5,400 men get thrown out immediately. You can count on that. It's kind of like on Twitter. You can call somebody, I hate to say this, you can call somebody fat and you've never seen them in your life, but there's a 90% chance you'll be right. I know that sounds horrible, but so many arguments start on Twitter, and I've noticed in our little world, the guy always gets accused of being fat, and because everybody is fat. If you're not, you're the outlier. So 5,400 get thrown out immediately. You have 600 men left. 15% will be the wrong race. Girls are just not going to go out with an Indian guy. Girls are just not going to go out with an Asian guy. Girls tend to have one or two races that they are open to, be it, Indian guys or what. They know, there's some Indians that are like, yeah, I can't bring home a white guy. My dad will kill me. My mom will be upset. There's just as much racism that goes on in every direction. So you can throw out another 15% of the wrong race. 80% of the men of that 600 left don't meet her imagined height, attractiveness, income requirements. Again, less than 0.01% are 6'6", where you have 6 feet, 6'6" dick, and 6 figures. Again, it's teeny tiny. It's something like 3% of the population is over 6'2". Maybe it's even less than that. 6%? I don't know. But whatever it is, for most girls, anything over 6. Again, these are all imagined. Because once you get a girl in the room with you, she can't tell how tall you are, barely. As long as you're taller than her, 99% of the time that gets the job done. But again, they don't meet her imagined. These are all what she thinks she needs. It doesn't actually come down to it in reality. But she'll throw them out because they don't meet that. They're 5'11" or 5'10", whatever. And then you have about 30 men left. 50% of these men, they're not going to swipe below a 7. Let's say she's a 6'7", she's on the line. She's pretty when made up, that sort of thing. So that leaves 15 men left that would match with her. 90% of these 15 men, and this is being generous, are beta. I would say it's usually like 99%, which really leaves 2 men, you and the accidental beta, or I'm sorry, the accidental alpha He just happened to like make all the cuts. But if you get him around a girl, he starts like locking up and she's disappointed. So that's you and one other. Those are good odds. And that's why I tell guys, and I reinforce it with numbers like this, that she's probably open to fucking you. If she's come all this way, you've beat out 6,000 other men. She's been telling her friends about this meetup she has on Thursday. She bought a new dress. She left work hour early. She went home, took a shower. She did the whole get ready for battle, girl battle thing, head to toe, shaving, plucking, hair, makeup, new dress, shoes, change shoes again, drives to the venue, pays for parking, comes in to meet. There's a damn good chance she's going to fuck you if you do not talk her out of it. That's why I cannot convey how important it is that you know what you're doing by the time she gets there and sits in front of you. And this all came from basically a tweet from Red Wolf. Went out to lunch today. She's cute, but nothing particularly special. I'd say a 6 out of 10. She showed me her Bumble, 6,000 likes. This is an average girl. That is normal for an average girl. But again, you get her in front of you, you've beat out 59.99. I mean, a lot of people. This is important for you to recognize. And it's even more important for you to capitalize on the opportunity that she's gone through all this bullshit. There's a damn good chance she'll fuck you, if not that day, the next time you meet her, because she would like these to be the last first date she ever goes on. And it's pretty consistent. Girls will tell you that, and Bunny's really good about reinforcing that. Like when they meet up, they like this to be the last fucking time they have to go through that shit. So again, no matter what the numbers are, if she's gotten all the way to the point, you've beat out a lot of men. It also gives you an idea of like how, for lack of unsophisticated or weak the competition is. If you even know just a little bit of game, you are so far ahead of the average guy, it's not even funny. But again, this is how girls that have 6,000 or 10,000 likes on Bumble, and now she's sitting in front of you. It tells you how many people you've beat out, and you need to capitalize on that opportunity and close the deal. It's what she wants, and it's what you're there for. So that's a real deal with these girls with 6,000 or 10,000 likes, and that's just from one app. I got a guy the